Hello everyone, welcome to the online tutorial presented by Your Own Biology Nowadays. In this video, I will be giving you a detailed description on kingdom Monera, coming under Whittaker's 5-kingdom classification. As you know, kingdom Monera consists of unicellular prokaryotes. The main members of this kingdom are bacteria. Bacteria is the plural form and bacterium is the singular form. Bacteria are present everywhere. For example, there will be approximately 100 million bacteria in 1 gram fertile soil. Bacteria were first discovered by Antony van Leeuwenhoek in 1675. He is considered to be the father of microscopy. Louis Pasteur established the science of bacteria called bacteriology. Based on the shape, bacteria can be divided into 4 groups: coccus, the spherical-shaped bacterium; bacillus, the rod-shaped bacterium; vibrio, the comma-shaped bacterium; and spirillum, the spiral-shaped bacterium. An example for coccus bacterium is Streptococcus pneumoniae, which cause pneumonia. An example for bacillus bacterium is Bacillus anthracis, that cause anthrax. An example for vibrio bacterium is Vibrio cholerae, causative agent of cholera. An example for spirillum bacterium is Helicobacter pylori, that cause peptic ulcer. On the basis of mode of nutrition, bacteria can be divided into autotrophic and heterotrophic. Autotrophic bacteria can prepare their own food, while heterotrophic bacteria cannot prepare their own food, but they depend on other living organisms for food. Autotrophic bacteria can be further divided into photoautotroph and chemoautotroph. Photoautotrophic bacteria, as the name indicates, synthesize their own food with the help of sunlight. Chemoautotrophic bacteria, as the name indicates, derive their energy from chemical reactions. Heterotrophic bacteria can be divided into parasitic bacteria and saprophytic bacteria. Parasitic bacteria live on or in other plants and animals, while saprophytic bacteria depend on dead organisms for food. In Whittaker's classification of living organisms, kingdom Monera is divided into 2 subgroups: Archaebacteria and Eubacteria. The word archae means ancient things in Greek. The term Eubacteria means true bacteria. Now let's see the subgroup Archaebacteria in detail. A special feature about these bacteria is that they are found in extreme and harsh habitats where no other living forms are usually found. An example for such a habitat is the volcanic hot spring shown here. Since they are seen in these kind of habitats, they are called extremophiles, meaning extreme condition loving. So, there should be something special with Archaebacteria which makes their life possible in these conditions. And that special feature is their cell wall with polysaccharides and surface layer proteins, or S-layer proteins. The S-layer proteins provides both chemical and physical protection. Based on where they are found, Archaebacteria can be divided into 3 groups: halophiles, methanogens, and thermoacidophiles. Halophiles, the word means salt loving, and so they are found in extreme salty areas. Methanogens means methane producers, and they are found in marshy or wetland areas. They can be found in the gut of cows and buffaloes. Methanogens are responsible for the production of biogas from the dung of these animals. They are extremely sensitive to oxygen. The 3rd group is the thermoacidophiles, meaning they are both heat and acid loving. They are seen in the hot sulfur springs. As I explained in the part 1 of this lecture, in 1977, Carl Wooser made archaea a different kingdom because he found that the archaea were really a different sort of life form on the basis of ribosomal RNA analysis. Okay, now let's move on to Eubacteria, another subgroup of kingdom Monera in Whittaker's classification. These bacteria have a rigid cell wall, and if motile, a flagellum will also be present. On the basis of mode of nutrition, Eubacteria are of 2 main types. And what are they? Autotrophic and heterotrophic. As you saw before, autotrophs are of 2 kinds: photosynthetic and chemosynthetic. Let's see the first group under autotroph, photosynthetic autotroph. Cyanobacteria are the main photosynthetic autotrophic bacteria. They were previously called blue-green algae but were renamed as Cyanobacteria because the word algae now refers to eukaryotic algae, but Cyanobacteria are prokaryotic organisms. They can be colonial or filamentous. Some of them are toxic and some are non-toxic. An example for toxic effect of cyanobacteria can be seen when eutrophication occurs in water bodies. That is, when too much nutrients are discharged into water bodies, due to rain for example, this will lead to an increased growth of cyanobacteria resulting in cyanobacterial harmful algal blooms. They grow very quickly but they are short-lived. So there will be a lot of dead organic matter which starts to decay. This decay process will consume dissolved oxygen in the water, causing a reduction in the oxygen in the water. When the oxygen in the water decreases, what will happen? Of course, the animals and plants in the water bodies may die in large numbers. About the non-toxic cyanobacteria, some of them like Anabaena and nostoc are very helpful as they fix atmospheric nitrogen into inorganic compounds that can be used by plants. Enzyme nitrogenase is responsible for nitrogen fixation. It brings about reduction of nitrogen into inorganic nitrogen compounds. Oxygen will destroy nitrogenase activity. So, now a question arises. As cyanobacteria are photosynthetic organisms, they will give out oxygen as a byproduct of photosynthesis. And this oxygen can destroy the nitrogenase enzyme. So, how do they protect nitrogenase? Okay, let me explain. This picture shows Anabaena azola, which lives in the leaf cavities of the water fern Azolla. These cyanobacteria have a specialized cell called heterocyst for nitrogen fixation, and heterocyst protects the enzyme nitrogenase from oxygen. The chemosynthetic autotrophs oxidize various inorganic substances to derive energy. For example, these bacteria, can you tell me to which group of bacteria they belong to based on the shape? Yes, you guessed it right. They belong to the Vibrio group. So these bacteria, when any Vibrio stagnus spumantis, gain energy by oxidizing hydrogen gas. Chemosynthetic autotroph group of bacteria play a great role in recycling nutrients like nitrogen, phosphorus, iron and sulfur. Now let's see the heterotrophic bacteria. They are the most abundant group of bacteria. They are important decomposers. Their use include making curd from milk. Bacteria belonging to the genus Lactobacillus are responsible for this. They convert sugars in the milk, that is lactose, into lactic acid by fermentation. Some soil bacteria are the sources of antibiotics such as streptomycin and tetracycline. Bacteria like Rhizobium help in nitrogen fixation in the roots of legume plants like pea plant. Some of them are pathogens and cause diseases. For example, cholera is caused by Vibrio cholerae, typhoid fever by Salmonella typhi, and tetanus by Clostridium tetani. In plants, citrus canker is caused by Xanthomonas axonopodis. They affect leaves, stems, and fruits of citrus trees like lime, orange, and grapefruit. Bacteria reproduce both asexually and sexually. In asexual reproduction, only one bacterium is involved, while in sexual reproduction, 2 bacteria are involved. Asexual reproduction is mainly by binary fission. Sometimes under unfavorable conditions, a bacterium may get converted into a spore. In binary fission, a bacterial cell divides into 2. The reproduction rate depends on the genus and species. For example, E. coli divides into 2 in about 20 minutes. At this rate, they become 4 in 40 minutes and 8 at the end of 1 hour. If this rate continues for a whole day, a huge mass of E. coli will be formed. But have you ever seen such a huge mass of E. coli? You must have not, because this does not happen. Do you know why? As the number of bacteria increase, the competition among them for food also increase. Metabolic waste will accumulate and this leads to the death of bacterial cells. Regarding the bacterial spores, they can survive many unfavorable conditions because of the presence of the hard protective coat surrounding the spore. During favorable conditions, the spore germinates into a single active cell again. Sexual reproduction in bacteria takes place through conjugation. Conjugation is the transfer of a piece of DNA called plasmid between bacterial cells by a bridge-like connection called pilus. Conjugation occurs very rarely. Now let's see what are Mycoplasmas. Mycoplasma is a genus of bacteria. They are different from normal bacteria because they don't have a cell wall around their cell membrane. But there is an advantage of not having a cell wall. They can take a variety of shapes. These kind of organisms that can take different shapes are called pleomorphic organisms. Since they have this special ability to change shapes, they are known as jokers of the microbiological park. They are smaller than normal bacteria. They are the smallest living cells known. They can survive without oxygen. Most of them are pathogens causing diseases in both plants and animals. Now I hope that you got a nice idea on kingdom Monera. But before I conclude, let me ask you a question. One day, if all bacteria vanish away from Earth, will it be a better world? For a few days, I think we all will be happy because there will be no diseases caused by bacteria. But after a few more days or months, I'm sure that we will start to realize how helpful bacteria were. Because the waste that we throw away will not degrade like today because bacteria, the major decomposers, will not be there. No nitrogen fixation happens. And plant growth will be affected. Recycling of nutrients will be affected. Science and technology may help us to live for some more years, but finally we will also vanish. Okay, so let them be there on Earth. That's better for us, right? That's all for this video. In the part 3 of this lecture, we will see other kingdoms in detail. Stay tuned.